There are no strings on me.
Yo, what is going on, everybody? It is your boy Carnage AK here, back with another video for you guys today. Today we are here with a settings and sensitivity guide for you guys for both SCUF and non-SCUF controllers. Now, I don't have experience with the SCUF Vantage, so unfortunately I can't give any type of tips or any type of recommendations for people that have the Vantage, and plus I don't want to mislead you guys with any information or making stuff up as I go along, because I don't have a SCUF Vantage. That's the honest truth. I do have a SCUF Impact. It is a 4-pedal SCUF that you guys have seen me use before. I use it pretty much every day on stream. I have 2 of them, as well as a regular controller. So without further ado, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button as well. If you guys are new to the channel, turn on those post notifications so you guys never miss a stream and or upload. And without further ado, let's get right into it. So for today's video, obviously we're going to be getting into the settings and sensitivity guide that I recommend for you guys that are new to the game. We got a lot of people that just got the game for Christmas, so make sure you guys pay attention to all the settings that I have here. If you have to pause it, go right ahead, but I'm going to try to run through this as well as show you guys some gameplay of the settings that I use. Hopefully you guys do enjoy it as well. But first things first, guys, we're gonna get right into the sensitivity. That's the most important thing that everybody asks me on stream. What sensitivity do you use, AK? Which one's the best one? Now, I'm just gonna start off by saying that the best sensitivity is entirely up to you. I cannot explicitly tell you what is the best sensitivity to use in the game, because every player is different. Some people like higher sensitivities, other people like lower sensitivities. What I can, however, is give you guys my recommendations. So look, sensitivity horizontal and vertical. I recommend that you keep this lower. Now the reason for that is because obviously some players are more comfortable with higher sensitivity, but if you notice something, when you watch a lot, whoever watches CWL Pro matches, watch Scump play, or any of those pros from FaZe, Optic, whatever it may be, if you watch them play, they're actually not playing on a high sensitivity. The reason for that is because the lower your sensitivity, the easier it is to be more accurate. Now obviously, like I said, this is entirely up to you what you want to do, but I recommend that you try this at about a 4 first. If you're not sure what sensitivity to use, turn this down to a 4 first. I'm more comfortable with a 6 because I have control freaks on my controller. If you're using a regular and or SCUF controller, I recommend putting this at a 4 first. If you feel that 4 is too low, bump it up to a 5. If you feel 5 is too low, bump it up to a 6. Just keep slowly increasing your sensitivity as you play the game. Now obviously, in my case, I play on a 6, which is a little bit higher because I actually have control freaks on my controller. Use code Carnage, but I actually have control freaks which allow this to allow me to basically have more accuracy and more freedom with my thumbstick, so that way I can be a little more accurate. So I can get away with putting this a little higher. I could even bump this up to maybe a 7 or an 8 if I actually wanted to, but I don't really recommend doing that. Now if you have a regular controller, start this off at about a 4 because your thumbstick's going to be a lot shorter, but if you have control freaks, I recommend starting at about a 5, increase your way from there and see what happens. You never know, it could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. Moving on, we're going to be moving down to the ADS sensitivity. I recommend keeping this at a 1. I don't really recommend changing this at all. I have been messing around with this a bit because this is a brand new setting that they actually added in update 1.10. I actually did turn this down to a 0.75. What this is going to do is, for anyone that's played Battlefield, there was a setting that was known as ADS sensitivity and high zoom sensitivity. What this means is that the lower this is, it means the less that your scope is going to move left and right, up and down. So while you're ADSing, your sensitivity is actually going to be turned down slightly if you turn this down a bit. If you leave it at 1x, that means your sensitivity is going to be at 5. In my case, I have mine at a 6, so my 1x ADS sensitivity and high zoom sensitivity is going to be at a 6. That's not going to change at all. Target assist, obviously, leave that on. Everybody needs aim assist. Don't lie to yourself. Just leave that on. Aim assist, you can leave this off if you want. This does not affect multiplayer at all. It took me a while to figure this out. You could completely turn this off. I'm pretty sure this only affects like the specialists, the spec op challenges that you have to do for your characters. I'm pretty sure it only affects that. I'm actually not 100% sure. I haven't played spec ops. Leave this off. It doesn't do anything, trust me. Now moving on, controller vibration. This applies to both SCUF and non-SCUF controllers. Leave this off. Just trust me when I say leave this off. I made this video in the beta, but it was outdated, so that's why I'm doing another one. Controller vibration ruins your accuracy. Believe it or not, it actually does, because you may not believe it, but vibration throws your aim off just by a few millimeters. and that can actually ruin your shot. So you want to keep this off at all times. Now, if you really want to keep it on, by all means, go ahead. I can't tell you what to do, but what I can recommend is to leave this off completely. Sprint reload cancel, leave that off. AutoMental, you can leave this on or off. If you're not sure what AutoMental does, just leave it on. Just leave it on, trust me. If you're a little more experienced in the game, you have a SCUF or a non-SCUF, turn this off. What this is going to do is this is going to allow you, so that way if you're nearby a ledge or you're nearby a car, if you jump in front of it, it's going to actually just jump AutoMental for you. If you leave this off, essentially what that means is that you have to hold down the X button to actually mantle onto objects. Now normally most people say leave this off. I kind of am already used to the auto mantling system, and I feel like it's going to throw me off a bit. That's why I kind of leave it on. Auto sprint, leave it off. You don't really need that. It's not really going to do you any good, in my opinion. And your stick layout, this is where it applies. This is where the SCUF comes in handy, and the regular non-controllers come in handy as well. If you're on your stick layout, if you have a SCUF controller with a 4-paddle SCUF like me, you have 4 paddles or 2 paddles, where both the left one, which is right on your screen, the one on the right, which is left on your screen, is circle, and this one is X. I have 4 paddles, so all 4 apply. But stick layout, leave that at default. Reason why is because you're going to be sliding, you're going to be jumping a lot. That's where the paddles come in handy. If you have electromagnetic remapping and you changed your paddles recently because you're playing Fortnite and you're trying to build 17 trillion walls, change it back. Change it back to the default layout of X, square, triangle, and circle from left to right. You want to make sure that your stick layout is at default because SCUF controllers, obviously those paddles do it for you. So you change that stick layout, your paddles are going to be all over the place and you're going to be wondering why you're dying and pressing weird buttons. Now if you have a regular controller, you don't have a SCUF controller, you don't have a Vantage, you don't have anything like that, put this at keep this at default as well. And your button layout, this is where you're going to need to change stuff as well. Your button layout, you're going to want to put this at tactical. Now I've played with SCUF for years, on many years. I got a SCUF when they first came out. I believe it was shortly after Modern Warfare 2's release. But before that, I didn't have a SCUF controller. I had a regular controller. I didn't have control freaks either. The control freaks wasn't even a thing back then. You're going to want to put this at tactical. This only applies if you have a regular controller, not SCUF controller. If you have a regular controller, put your button layout at tactical. This is going to make it so that way when the right thumbstick on your controller is going to be your crouch and prone, and also your slide button, and your melee attack is actually going to be circle as well. Now you could get away with using bumper jumper tactical and all that other crazy stuff, but I don't recommend any of that because I feel like it throws off your aim even more. So you don't want to use that. Stick and move was another popular option as well for people that like to jump shot a lot, and I'm going to get into jump shotting in another video because there's actually a tip that I recommend. But off topic slightly, stick and move is not really a good idea in my opinion, because what you're doing is stick and move, the only thing that you're changing is you're swapping out your melee attack for your crouch button as well as your jump button, and you're moving the jump button onto your thumbstick. Now the problem is, moving your jump button to your thumbstick, you're going to be missing your shots a lot more, because now you have to worry about strafing left and right, aiming your gun left and right, up and down, and on top of that, that thumbstick is now being used for jumping as well. So you do not want to be using stick and move in my opinion. I recommend keep this at tactical. You can't go wrong. You're not going to miss any shots. It's much better in my opinion. You may have issues jumping, but in my opinion, you're way better off. And I'm going to talk about later on why it should be tactical. And reason for that is because when you crouch and prone, jump shotting is a good tactic in the game, but you're going to want to be crouch shooting a lot more. That's going to need to help your case a little bit more. So I recommend putting that at tactical. Obviously, your L1 and R1, keep this at default. You could flip it if you want, and for those that prefer the button. If you have a SCUF controller with trigger stops, keep this at default. You have a regular controller, keep this at flipped actually, because that'll help us so that way you don't have any trigger delay whatsoever, because there is trigger delay on this game. But if you have a SCUF controller with trigger stops, I recommend keeping this at default. I keep it at default as well, and I don't have trigger stops on my SCUF controller, but regardless, I still recommend keeping it at default. Flip for anybody that's new to the game. Might help you out, it may not. You really just got to play with it. Like I said, all I can do is recommend. I can't explicitly tell you what to do. Your graphics, this is where things really kind of just, you could leave this at default. You don't really need to change this. Some people, you notice a lot of streamers change their colorblind settings. It doesn't help you at all. Just leave it at default. Your brightness, that depends on what type of TV or monitor that you're using. I play on a monitor, so that way I can see things a lot better. I have a faster response time. So my brightness depends on the monitor that I'm using. You really just got to play around with this. I know it says adjust the brightness level until the image is barely visible. Don't listen to that. Play around with the settings, figure out what you like the most, then from there you can make a decision whether or not that setting is a good one. The rest, just pretty much leave it as is. And your safe area, that depends on your monitor as well. Make sure that the lines, the triangles, are in line with the size monitor that you're using. Now your audio settings, your master volume, keep this at 10. Your audio presets, keep that at Super Crunch. Change it to Super Crunch. I know a lot of people say keep it at the Treyarch mix. What Super Crunch is going to do is this is going to massively boost the sound of footsteps and other sound effects within people that use over-ear headsets like the one I'm using. If you have an over-ear headset like the one that I have, put this on Super Crunch. I'm telling you now, chat, you guys are going to hear people across the map. I'm not even kidding. Especially if you're using acoustic sensor, you can literally hear people so far away. You're gonna wonder whether or not that's a teammate or an enemy. But Super Crunch, this is the setting that I use. And sometimes when I'm streaming, even my subscribers can hear footsteps across the map. That's how loud Super Crunch is. So definitely turn on Super Crunch. And also crank up your Astros to max, in my opinion. That's going to help you out a big ton. Your controller sound for both non-SCUF controllers and regular controllers, keep that off as well. You don't need controller sound. It's literally useless, especially if you have a headset on. You're not even going to hear that halfway for the most part. So keep that off. You're not going to need that as well. Multiplayer dialogue, keep that on. It's not going to make a difference. Everything else, keep it 10. Subtitles you can turn on if you want, but it's going to be obstructive to your view whenever someone calls in a UAV or a kill streak or something like that. I recommend just leaving that off. Now, obviously, if you have electromagnetic remapping on your SCUF controller like I have, meaning I can change these paddles to whatever I want, I do not recommend changing the paddles to anything. If you bought your SCUF controller with EMR and your paddles are set to default, X, square, triangle, and circle, leave those as is. That's really the best loadout, in my opinion, for your SCUF controller. Don't change them at all. Also, if you have a SCUF controller and you're thinking about getting a SCUF controller, make sure you guys either purchase Control Freaks or increase the thumbstick size on the right thumbstick. You do not need it for the left thumbstick because that's not really important at all, and plus you're not really going to be aiming that much with it. What matters is the thumbstick that you're aiming with. You're going to need as much accuracy as possible. Use code Carnage if you're going to be purchasing Control Freaks. This will slightly raise up your thumbstick, just slightly. As you guys can see, the one is slightly raised. That's going to help you out so that way you can land shots a little bit better, and that's why I recommend turn up your sensitivity just slightly if you have Control Freaks. That'll help you out a bit. But anyways, guys, I'm going to leave you guys to the rest of the gameplay. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let me know if you guys want to see some more class setups. If you have a recommendation for a gun that I have not done for a class setup, leave it in the comments box down below. Hopefully you guys have a great holiday, a great new year. I'll catch you guys in the next one. It's your boy Carnage AK signing out. Peace out, fellas. You're not killing me, kid. And you're not better than me, so don't even think about it.
We're taking control.
Alright, control's back. See if we can try to pull a dub here. That would be ideal. Got a lot of level 1s here, so this could work out in my favor a bit. We just got to make sure we win our gunfights. There's a guy might be up top. I don't want to push that. He's got to be in the sniper's nest. What's up, Guy Gordon?
We lost the advantage.
Oh, that car's going to explode, I think. Yep, he's right there. Close call. Guy's up top. I really think he's up there. And I don't want to push that. Oh, it's a good thing you're terrible at the game. It's a good thing you're terrible. Oh, it's a good thing you're terrible too. Goodness sake, man. That was a bit crazy. I got lucky there. I think that health boost saved me. Alright, now we got streaks up so we can push up a bit more here. This guy is yelling, chat. There's a 5-year-old literally yelling right now. Alright, hold up. I'm gonna make it so that way you guys can hear this guy. He's literally screaming. Did you ever say the N-word? What are you gonna ask a question like that for? What do I have to do to join the clan? Do something different. Do something that everyone else isn't already doing. Jeez, man. This guy is not happy on the other team, man. There's another guy here. This guy on the other team's got literally no skill whatsoever. He's still yelling. This guy is not happy, man.
Firing sensor dart. Got this. Charlie Mike.
Here we go. Work on that gun skill, fam. You're lacking it right now. GG.
Bro, y'all fucking suck, bro. My fucking team ass, bro.
He's telling that his team sucks, but he went 12 and 16. Okay.
How'd you handle the fucking 15?
Hey, watch your mouth, woman. Watch your mouth, woman. Oh wait, he a dude? Never mind. My bad. Dog, you just got this game yesterday. Calm down. Dog, you can't be going 12 and 16 complaining about your team, bro. You're part of the problem. You just got this game yesterday. Calm down.
Yep, I feel about you. We got mad at them. You bitch ass.
What's good, Russell?